Honest Bob was the landlord of a tavern on Far Gosford Street, and he was fed up of being ripped off by the farmers at market. Thinking, if only I could grow some potatoes for myself, I'd save myself a fortune. So he went out into his garden and began to dig. When he put the shovel in the ground, it made a hollow ring. Thinking that there might be treasure, he got down on his hands and knees and began to claw at the earth. He revealed a pit full of bones, probably the bones of the poor cholera victims from the 1650s. Thinking that there might be treasure amongst the bones, he stuck his arm in and gave a good rummage. He pulled out a skull. It had two deep, dark eye sockets that seemed to bore into his very soul, and a wide, crooked grin that chilled his very marrow. Pleased with his trophy, he took it back to the tavern and put it on the mantelpiece. Pride of place. When his wife saw what he had brought home, she was very angry and scared. Bob, Bob, get that thing out of here this instant, or you'll bring a curse upon our heads. Tush, tush, peace, wife. There is no such thing as curses. I am not a superstitious man, but man I am, and therefore the skull stays. Well, people heard about the skull and they were curious. They wanted to have a look, so they came from far and wide. And when they did, they ate and drank and made merry and spent a fortune. When the tavern finally closed, late into the night, Bob had a big bag of money to take upstairs and put in under his mattress. He got ready for bed, said his prayers, blew out the candle, and drifted off into sleep. But as he did, there came moaning and wailing and rat-a-tat-tatting from the floor beneath. His wife awoke with a start and elbowed him in the ribs. Bob, Bob, someone is trying to break into the house. I tell you, it is that skull you have brought a curse upon us, and now we will be murdered in our beds. Oh, tush, tush, peace, wife. I tell you, it is naught but the cat. But his wife would not let him go back to sleep until he checked. So grudgingly he lit the candle and went downstairs. There was the cat, curled up on the bar, fast asleep. He surveyed the tavern. All was exactly as he had left it, even the skull on the mantelpiece. His deep, dark eye sockets seemed to bore into his very soul. He shivered. It is naught but the cold, he said to himself, and then he went back upstairs. As he drifted off to sleep, there came a moaning and a wailing and a rat-a-tat-tatting from the floor beneath. His wife elbowed him in the ribs. Someone is trying to break in, I tell you, Bob. Go and stop them. You have brought a curse onto our heads and we'll be murdered in our beds. Tush, tush, peace, wife. I have told you, it is naught but the cat. But his wife would not let him go back to sleep without first checking. So he stamped down the stairs. There was the cat, curled up, purring to itself, deep in kitty slumbers. He surveyed the tavern. All was exactly as he left it, even the skull. It grinned at him with that terrible, toothy, crooked grin. His arms turned to goosebumps. It is naught but the cold, he said to himself, and then he made his way back up the stairs. No sooner had his head touched the pillow when his wife sat bolt upright in bed. "The skull demands to be sent to its place of rest, or you will never know another night's sleep again." And then she fell back on the bed, lifeless. Now Bob was not a superstitious man, and he did not believe in demonic possession, so he thought his wife was playing a trick. So he gave her a good tickle in the ribs, but nothing, not even a stir. So he gave her a good prod. Nothing, not even a flinch. Well, this was getting creepy, far too creepy for Bob. He jumped out of bed and ran down the stairs, grabbing the shovel and the skull. He didn't even stop to put on his slippers. When he went outside, the dew seeped between his toes. He dug and dug until he thrust the skull back into the bones and covered it over with earth. Then he went back upstairs, got into bed and fell fast asleep. Unfortunately for his wife, she did not sleep a wink for all of Bob's snoring.